too much? I think it might be too much, I don't know. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the InuYasha vlogs. We finally got our setup proper up and running. We're actually going to take this episode to actually shoot three all at once. Three vlogs all at once, and basically cover them individually so you see them once a week. So, today we are on a very special episode. We are on, what is called the Demon Slayer arc. Episodes 25 and 26, I believe. That involve a character that will now become a long-running member of our fellowship. Starting off with episode 25, Enter Sango the Demon Slayer. And for any fans, you know exactly what that means. For newcomers, I'll give you the skinny. So, basically, the episode opens with a village being attacked by a giant centipede demon. Why is it that in feudal Japan, there's always giant centipedes going around? Was there just a big pandemic of giant centipede monsters going around feudal Japan at the time? I don't know. But anyway, basically these villagers are setting up a trap to capture one of them, and one of them says, "Demon Slayer, it's time!" Now, funny enough, in some versions of this English dub, it's not Demon Slayer, sometimes it's Exterminator, it's time, which I don't get that. I don't get why there's two different versions of this episode where it's like, she's either a demon slayer or a demon exterminator. It makes no sense. Like, even some prints, they call this episode the Demon Exterminator. I guess Slayer is a bit too violent, you know, because, like, Halo, you know, Slayer. But out comes this character named Sango, who is in this amazing ninja armor get-up with a face mask and everything, and she carries this giant-ass boomerang called the Hyarikotsu, which I cannot pronounce, and yes, this is, I'll just bring this over here. This is a full-scale Hyarikotsu prop that I built for a cosplay commission. So yeah, we have this on standby for this episode. But anyway, she looks up at this giant centipede thing, she throws the fucking boomerang like Batman, and it cuts this giant 80-foot centipede in half. It comes back to her, and it dies, and she is able to obtain a shard of the sacred jewel, which was making that demon be so kaiju-sized. Now, funny enough, so first introduction to this character, and you're already like, you love this chick. She is amazing. She is a badass fighter. She's a demon slayer. She does this for a living, which is fantastic. She's a great character so far. And she is voiced by Kelly Sheridan, who is a popular Canadian voice actress, who some of you might know from, I believe, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I never watched the show. All I know is a couple of Canadian and American voice actors have worked on that show. I'm not a brony myself. But she is also famous for playing Barbie in the direct-to-video mainframe Barbie movies. Now, funny enough, I think next to Jodie Benson, she is the most popular voice of Barbie. So, kudos to Kelly Sheridan for coming in and providing the voice of one of the best characters in the show. So she attends back to her village, which is in this giant wooden fort thing. It looks like the Wall of Skull Island meets like a fortress, like a wooden fortress from like the 18th century America. And that, you know, the colonials would have. But anyway, so basically she returns to her family, who are all demon slayers. Her father, who is the lord of the castle, as well as her little brother Kohaku, who I believe is voiced by several different actors. But also the adorable little two-tailed demon kitty thing named Kilala. Oh my god, it's so cute. If you have a plushie of this, kudos to you. I want a goddamn plushie of Kilala. That's how awesome she is. She's this cute little kitty. Little demon kitty. And basically, they have been assigned to their next objective to slay another demon at a lord's castle. A lord by the name of Kakawaki. Odd name. Sounds like an energy drink. But regardless, they go to do that, and we also see the relationship between her and her brother Kohaku, her father, who's kind of putting a little high expectations on their son Kohaku, or on his son Kohaku, and you know, and Kohaku's kind of like, I don't know if I'm one for being a demon slayer. He's just a very shy boy, very innocent in terms of that sense. But anyway, what eventually happens is that they get to the castle and they have to slay a giant spider demon. Now, spiders, that can't be good, as we've established in previous episodes. And this giant spider attacks, they slay it, all's good. Okay, we're gonna get our money, we're gonna take off and head out the hills. Good day, Lord, we'll be on our way. Nope! it turns out the entire family is slaughtered, red wedding style. Holy shit, you see this, like, you're completely off guard. You're like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? And where's all our heroes during this time? But we'll get to them in a sec. But the whole family's slaughtered. Sango's the only one standing, and when she turns to see who is the culprit who slaughtered her father and the entire Demon Slayer clan, it's her brother. Yeah, little Kohaku slaughters every one of them and then tries to kill her, and you're just like, oh shit, what is going on here? He takes a katana, he's trying to slice her down, he takes this cool little chain, like, death sai thing and throws it at her, and Sango's trying to block it and everything. She's like, why are you doing this? She's not even mad at her brother. She's like, why? What is wrong with you? You know, you have no idea what's happening, going on here. And then she's like, wait, there's a little web, a spider web, and oh my god, it's going to the Lord, and he's possessed my brother. So she tries to kill the Lord, goes up and slays her, and what's funny is the Lord the whole time is this old-looking Gandhi motherfucker, and he's just there with his drink, and watching them slay each other, and the guards are like, the little one is slaying all the hunters, like, we should stop him, kill him, and the Lord's like, no, let them be. This should be some good gladiatorial entertainment. I'm like, oh, you dipshit. So Sango tries to slay him, like, charge up and try to attack, but then Kohaku throws his little side blade, death blade chain thing, hitting her in the back. She turns around, sees Sango suddenly back to normal, and is like, oh my god, what have I done? Lunges for her sister. Then he gets shot with a bajillion arrows, just like Boromir style. He gets Boromir to death, and he's dead. Sango goes up to her brother and says, you know, it's okay, we're gonna be okay. Like, they die in each other's arms as brother and sister, and then she gets shot with a bajillion arrows. Both are dead. Which are just like, Jesus, did George R. R. Martin write this episode? But then the Lord gets stabbed behind by Kagawaki, who is this dark-haired, by this dark-haired prince who is this, who actually is Kagawaki. He's the father, or the son, kills his father, and he's like, you fools, this is not my father. He was possessed by a demon. The poor demon slayers, we should bury them. Okay, so this prince seems kind of cool. Alright, all good. But pretty tragic that these poor demon slayers got completely fucked in the ass, essentially. Meanwhile, we cut to our characters, our fellowship. InuYasha, Moroku, Kagome, Shippo. They're all kind of going their, all on their journey, and Moroku's trying to tell InuYasha, it's like, hey, you know, what are you gonna do when you, get the Sacred Jewel Shards? And this is something we've kind of been off on for a while since the beginning of the show, but now we're kind of back to it, is where InuYasha's like, when I get the Sacred Jewel, I will become a full-fledged demon. That has always been my mission. You guys are just kind of along for the ride. But it's like, but dude, you've sworn your life to protect Kagome. It's like, yeah, and I still protect her even as a demon. How do you know that? See, we don't know the repercussions of using this jewel for good or evil. We don't know this. So, basically, they suddenly sense a disturbance, and they know that there is a demon slayer that has been taking some of their business. Because remember, while they're on the road, they have to make money to keep traveling. So what do? They go slay demons and they earn a profit. But these demon slayers have actually been taking their jibs, and they go to the castle and find the entire castle has been completely slaughtered. Everybody in this castle's dead. So this is where the demon slayers were. So everybody at the village is now dead. So everything's kind of like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and apparently Miyoga was at the village during the time, and is actually allied with Kilala, who is one of the few characters still at the village who survived. And eventually, it's revealed that the person who slaughtered the village was none other than Naraku. Meanwhile, at the castle where Kagawaki is, Sango lives. She literally rises out of the soil like Jason Todd when he comes back in the DC comics, and she's like, I'm not gonna die. I need to do shit. You know, for some reason she's alive. So Kagawaki takes her to Mend and tells her, oh, I'm sorry all your family and villagers died. And she's just like, what the fuck? Okay, my family's dead now, my home is gone? Like, holy shit. Like, this would cause anybody at that point to commit suicide, essentially. You lose your family, you lose your house, what else is next? What could be worse than that? So Naraku is actually allied with Prince Kagawaki as a loyal advisor. yeah, that's not gonna come out pretty well. So he tells the prince that the villagers were slain by a demon called InuYasha. Sango overhears this and says, get my shit, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Naraku's smiling deviously as we end part 1. Part 2 opens with basically recap, and Sango is with Naraku to travel to find InuYasha and slay her. She's weak, she's bleeding, she cannot go on, but she knows that if this is her last mission, if this is her last breaths of life, use it to take revenge on InuYasha. And seeing her weakness, Naraku hands her a sacred jewel shard, and Sango's like, wait, where'd you get that? He's like, I've had it for a while, but wait a minute. Sango got a sacred jewel shard from that giant centipede in part 1 and gave it to the villagers. Oh shit, where is this going? So basically, Sango attacks InuYasha, a fight ensues out, Naraku is there to watch, like Palpatine, like, yes, do it, Sango, turn to the dark side, and all that shit. It's all great. Naraku's just so Palpatine-y in this. Palpatine, that's hilarious. But anyway, so Moroku and the others try to intercept Naraku, but Sango keeps blocking them and say, your fight's with me, you bastard, you killed my family, prepare to die. You know, all Inigo Montoya up in this shit. But InuYasha's just like, bitch, pff, shut up. Do you ever think Naraku's just fucking with you? And she's like, what the hell? And, you know, jewel shard was in her back. She's completely weak at this point. They get the shard, and actually Naraku gets the shard back, and he's like, well, if you're gonna betray me, Sango, then you don't need this shit. Bye, thought! But, you know, again, a battle ensues. Sango finds out that it was Naraku who staged this entire thing, slaughtered the villagers, slaughtered her family, you know, is the one who probably obviously took the family and possessed Kohaku, you know, so she's rightfully pissed off, like, okay, you baboon fuck, I'm gonna kill you, but she's weak to do so. Naraku, or InuYasha and Moroku actually end up cutting his head off, which you're like, wow, this was a quick villain's death, like, point that, like, I guess he's gone. Nope! He turns into this giant root tentacle thing where you're like, oh fuck, this is gonna turn into a hentai. And basically, it turns out it is not the real Naraku, it's a puppet. It's an illusion. Naraku has the ability to take, basically take the, his spirit or whatever, some, like, a strand of his hair connected to a puppet, and then that creates a sort of a fake, a duplicate of Naraku. Although it's not his fully functional, it's like, you know, a clone without the flesh stuff. It's basically magic. It's all magic shit. So, it's not the real Naraku. So where could Naraku be? Well, we're gonna have to find out later on. So, at the end of it, I guess Sango basically joins them on their group, because figured, yeah, what the fuck not? I've got no friends, all my family's dead, so why not? And continue on our way to defeat Naraku. So, the Demon Slayer arc. Introduction to one of the best characters in the show for a lot of fans, hands down. I've seen so many people cosplay Sango, and all the cosplays I've seen at Anime North and shit, they're freaking amazing. Great, absolutely fantastic cosplays, and the props they build, like my Hiyari coats was built out of cardboard, pool noodle foam, and duct tape. Whereas most would use foam and everything, but to the point, she's a great character. She's going to be a mainstay for the entire show, and we're going to see a lot more of her character in terms of an arc and everything later down in the series. She's a great character. Kelly Sheridan does such a great job voicing her. I couldn't imagine anybody else playing this part in terms of voice acting, but she's great. She really gives it her all. We see her relationship with her family and her village, and how it all just leads to, again, another terrible, tragic event, series of unfortunate events. No, this was not written by Lemony Snicket. See, it's weird, because, like, Rumiko Takahashi is almost like Lemony Snicket meets George R.R. Martin with a middle being Tolkien. And it's fantastic. So, this arc's pretty suspenseful. One of the darkest in the first season, I find. One of the darkest episodes. There's a lot of violence in this one, a lot of tension. And I love it. It's a fantastic arc. So, I don't know, I give this one, I mean, our characters are about the same, Naraku's still plotting and everything. It's about the same as we've seen before, and it'll eventually evolve later on. So I'm going to give this arc probably about an 8.5 out of 10. It's a pretty decent two-parter, definitely worth checking out. And by the way, guys, if you want to watch InuYasha, it is on Netflix, I believe. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix, if you're interested. I have them on DVD. I cannot wait to buy the Blu-ray. I really want to get the Blu-ray when they re-release it, but yeah, this arc's pretty good. So, of course, these aren't Patreon exclusives because of the current pandemic we're in right now, but if you want to support our channel, if you guys want to check it out, just $1 or more will get you early access to all of our content, as well as other special features, and you can support us on Patreon, and all the funds will go towards producing a potential InuYasha fan film. So, be sure to join us next time when we take a look at a one-episode arc that eventually tells us the story of a certain MacGuffin of the show and explain the origins of it. So until the next episode, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying, when you're creating an anime, don't be George R.R. Martin, and don't slaughter your family. That is dark as hell. Later.